What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, and I'm just checking in on you. What's going on? How are ya? Now today is February the 4th, and this is going to be your weekly vendor reset and must-buys. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But we'll start off here in Washington, D.C., and we will finish up in New York City. Our first vendor is going to be the Base of Ops vendor. Here we go.
What can I help you find?
And starting off at the top, we have the Grudge. This is the named Banshee with Perfect Vindictive, and this week it comes with Accuracy. Following that, we have a MP5 with crit hit damage and preservation, a TKB with Thunderstrike and headshot damage, and finally a D50 with swap speed and reformation. Looking at the gear items, we have a Uzina backpack with Unstoppable Force, Armor Regeneration, and Health. And finally, a Sokolov Concern chest piece with Weapon Handling, Armor Regeneration, and Overwatch. Looking at the mods, we have Crit Hit Damage 10.2, Drone Damage Reduction 5.0, Turret Burn Damage 4.3, and Sticky Bomb Skill Haste of what? 4.2. Now, must-buys, things to look for from the Base of Ops vendor. Sadly, I would not really recommend any of these items. However, just remember that right now in the game, we have a Expertise XP event. So if any of these items are not fully proficient, please pick them up and donate them into your Expertise table for whatever item it is. Remember, with weapons and gear item, or with weapons and named items, it used to be 20 duplicates to go from 0 to fully proficient. But if you get double the XP right now, it would only be 10 duplicates. So you can get all of these items fully proficient really quick. Just a reminder. All right, back to the vendor reset. We still have the countdown and clan vendors over here. But remember, if you have Warlords of New York, you can check them over there. But here is your countdown vendor. And starting with the test subject, this is the named PDR with Perfectly in Sync. Great assault rifle if you are not using the capacitor with your skill build. And this one with health damage, but you could easily just change that to damage to targets at a cover. We're going to skip down to the Deathgrips because these are PvP exclusive named items that you would typically only see in the DZ vendors, DZ caches, or conflict caches. It is rare, but you can get it from named item caches as well, but it's even more rare to see it here in the countdown vendor. So if you don't have it, please pick up the Deathgrips. Remember, they give you 10% armor on kill just from wearing them. You can also get armor on kill from System Corruption, Hunter's Fury, the Mop, Gunner Specialization, Preservation. There's a lot of different ways you could get armor on kill, so that's a good part of the collection. And finally, we have the Firm Handshake. This is the named Sokolov Concern gloves with that status effects as an attribute. This one also comes with crit hit damage and weapon damage for that core, but you could easily change that weapon damage to a skill tier, to an armor core, or just max it out and keep that crit hit damage at the bottom. Pretty cool. But all right, that is it for the countdown vendor. Now let's run over to the clan vendor. While I do that, shout out to the DoD, Disciples of Doom. We are on all platforms, so if you are interested in joining the clan, just jump over to my Discord server and put your name in whatever, platform you're in. So for PlayStation, put your name in the clan invites for PlayStation, for Xbox, and PC, the same. But all right, that is it for the little clan spiel. Let's look at the clan vendor.
Good of you to stop by.
Starting with the Like Glue, this is the named Super 90 with Perfect Brazen. This is a fan favorite right now. It did get a nice little buff, and Perfect Brazen got a buff as well. You could change the magazine size off for damage to targets at a cover, and you're good to go. Looking at the gear set items, we have a Cavalier holster with armor regeneration, not bad. Rigger gloves with health. Hardwired gloves with headshot. going down to the gear set. Ooh, Yaahl gear mask right now. Pick up the Yaahl gear mask right now at the clan vendor. Not only that, but I'm going to stop the vendor right now and show you this. So a lot of people ask me about Yaahl gear. A lot. Yaahl gear is really exclusive to PvP, more specifically Dark Zone and Conflict. It is rare to find this in the clan vendor. So now that you see it and it has crit hit damage on here, you could make it double crit. You could go crit regen. You could go crit hazard. There's a lot of different ways you could use this mask. So it's a good mask, but not only that, but you can pick up duplicates of this. And if you deconstruct it, you get Yaahl gear materials. So if you go to your resources, you can scroll down to your Yaahl gear materials, okay? Now, if you have enough of these materials, you can craft your own Yaahl gear build. And if you go over to the crafting station, I'll show you the blueprints. So right over here, if say you picked up, I don't know, 100 of those masks and you deconstructed them, you get like 300 Yaahl gear components, right? Then you can go over here and there should be Yaahl gear blueprints. Now you do get the Hollow Man Yaahl gear blueprint from the Descent game mode. There's also this Yaahl gear mask. Let's see what else Yaahl gear we can craft. So basically what you can do is if you have these blueprints, no chest piece. Yep, there's the chest piece right there, Yaahl gear chest piece. Let's see what else we can craft. There's quite a few. So basically what I'm telling you to do, here's the holster right here, Yaahl gear holster. You can craft your own Yaahl gear build. And what I would recommend you do is run over here to the clan vendor and buy as many of these masks as you can, dismantle them, that way you have the Yaahl gear components, and then you can craft as many Yaahl gear items as you want to make whatever Yaahl gear builds you want. Yaahl gear got a nice buff. The 2-piece bonus weapon damage was 5%, and now it's 10%. Not only that, but the 3-piece bonus gives you pulse resistance, which is really, really strong for the Dark Zone. It is also good for Conflict, but it's really strong for the Dark Zone. So think about that, all right? Now going back to our high-end items, we have a perfect lightweight M4. Holy moly, this is a must-buy. Pick up this lightweight M4. It has damage to targets out of cover on it, max rifle damage, and you can change the talent to whatever it is you want. Lightweight M4 also got a buff today, so the lightweight M4 is even more powerful, and they're giving you a maxed out one right here at the clan vendor. So pick this one up, change the talent to whatever it is you want. Remember, it also has the long under barrel rail attachment slot, so you can put this with the linked laser pointer and the technician's specialization and that talent flatline. I know it's a lot of information, but pick up this lightweight M4. It's a good one. Next up, we have a SR1 with optimal range and in sync. The must-buy Yaahl gear mask. I'm telling you, pick it up. Even if it's just to have the mask for itself, but then you can also get all of those materials and make your own Yaahl gear builds. Moving on, we have a Cabaret with the max headshot and the talent Perfect Thunderstrike. Following that, a tactical M1911 with crit hit damage and Vindictive. Last two gear items, we have Golden Gear gloves with crit hit damage and explosive resistance. These gloves are good. Just change the explosive resistance off for armor regeneration, and you're good to go. Or you could go double crit, or you could go status crit. There's so many different ways you could use these golden gloves, but keep the crit hit damage and change the explosive resistance. And then finally, for the high-end items, we have a Walker Harris holster with headshot and crit hit damage. This is yet another great item. Good rolls on it. You could use this in an SMG build. Remember that your SMGs come with very high crit chance, so you could get away with not having crit chance on this item. Not only that, but you could easily just change the headshot to crit chance and go double crit, or you could keep the headshot and crit hit damage and change the weapon damage to an armor core and go for like a tanky DPS build. Either way, that's a good holster. Looking at the mods, we have Crit Chance 5.0, Firefly Speed 8.5, Hive +4 Stinger Charges, and Chem Launcher Heals of 6.3. I wish we had maxed out mods. We never see maxed out mods. I look at these and I have the same reaction. It's like, meh, eh, every single week. Because I look at these and I'm like, man, these mods suck. Anyways, all right. Back to the task at hand. Clan Vendor, must buys. The light glue is a good pickup. The lightweight M4 is a must buy. The Yaahl gear is a must buy. The Golden Gear gloves are pretty good. Just change the explosive resistance. And the Walker Harris is good. You could go double crit or keep it crit headshot. But that is it for the Clan Vendor. These are some pretty good vendors right now. I'm not going to lie. These are some pretty strong vendors. We had, we had the Deathgrips from the Countdown vendor. And then we had the Lightweight M4 and Yaahl gear from the Clan vendor. So that's 2 out of 3 that have good items so far for our vendors. Now we're going to go west and then we'll double back east. Our first stop is going to be the campus settlement. And then we'll start hitting our Dark Zone vendors. But here we are at the campus. Let's run over here. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing and shout out where you're from. It's cool to see where everyone's from. Here is the campus settlement. Starting with the Commando, this is the named SVD with Perfectly Naked, and this one with damaged armor. That's not bad. Next up, we have a SR1 with damaged armor and Determined. Wow. This is a must-buy as well. Snipers with Determined are automatically a must-buy. It's the best talent to have on a sniper, especially if it's the slower firing, harder hitting snipers, because you want to get those headshots and you want to get those one-hit shots. So having a slower shooting sniper with Determined is a must-buy, and this is exactly what it is, SR1. And if you don't like the damage to armor, you could easily just change it to damage to targets at a cover. Either way, good to go. Following that, we have a Black Market M60 with damage to armor and eyeless. That damage to armor with the damage to targets at a cover is perfect. You could just change eyeless to whatever it is you want, and you're good to go. Not bad. Following that, we have our high-end gear items. First up, we have a Lingmo mask with skill damage and weapon handling. And finally, a Walker Harris holster with armor regeneration and repair skills. Looking at the mods, we have skill duration 8.5, chem launcher damage 4.1, hive stem efficiency 8.4, pulse cone size 6.2, and trap duration of 4.2. Now, must buys, things to look for from the campus settlement. This SR1 is a must buy. This is a great sniper. Pick it up. If you don't like the damage to armor, easily change it to DTOC and you're good to go. That M60 is also good. It hits like a freaking Mack truck. That's a nice one as well. All right. Now that we are done with the campus, now it's time to go to our Dark Zone vendors. First up, Dark Zone West. West. Let's go. And just a friendly reminder for your Dark Zones, you have to have DZ resources to buy anything from the DZ vendors. So just above your keys, you can see your DZ resources. For example, you can see right here, I'm 335 out of 999. And if I run out of DZ resources, I have to go into the Dark Zone and either pick up the little blue boxes or deconstruct contaminated items into DZ resources and then extract it. All right, let's run over here, DZ West. Need some coffee. All right, DZ West. Yep, get off the table. There we go.
Welcome, Agent.
Starting with the firm handshake, these are the Sokolov Concern gloves that I showed you earlier with that status effects. This one is more aimed towards skill builds. It comes with skill damage status effects. You could just change the weapon damage to a skill tier, and you're good to go. Following that, we have a SASG with reload speed and fast hands. SIG 716 with precision strike and armor damage. Looking at the gear items, we have Breaking Point gloves with weapon handling, Cavalier knee pads with headshot, Richter and Kaiser gloves with skill haste and armor regeneration, and finally Wyvern knee pads with repair skills and skill haste. Looking at the mods, we have Incoming Repairs 17.1, Seeker Mind Healing 6.1, Shield Health 4.3, Firefly +1 max target, and Decoy Health of 6.0. Now, must buys, things to look for from DZ West. Nothing really, man. Nothing really. All right. Moving our talents down south to the DZ South. Here we go. Oh boy, we going down south. Let's get it, boy. Yeah. Get her done. I don't know. Candy cane. You know, whatever. We're down south. All right, here we go. DZ South, big money, no whammies.
Anything I can show
The
you?
Matador with crit chance, bruh. This might be one of the best vendors we've had in over a year. This is a great pickup. The Matador, pick it up right now. It's the named Walker Harris backpack with perfect adrenaline rush, and you can make this one double crit. Just change the skill haste off for crit hit damage. Good to go. Matador backpack, DZ South. Pick up this bag. It's a great one, I'm telling you. Following that, we have a Cabaret. This is the named SMG again with perfect Thunderstrike. This one magazine size. A Carbine 7 with stability and future perfect. And finally, M1911 with swap speed and Thunderstrike. Looking at the gear items, we have Virtuoso backpack with max weapon damage and headshot damage. A Heartbreaker chest piece with, man, near max armor. That's a really good chest piece. That's a really good backpack, too. I mean, both of these really strong. Moving on to the high-end items, we have a Fenris backpack with Creeping Death, skill damage, and headshot. And finally, Heligard chest piece with health, weapon handling, and explosive delivery. There we go. Looking at the mods, we have crit hit damage 10.3, drone scan range 8.0, turret burn damage 4.1, and sticky bomb blast radius of 5.0. Now, must buys, things to look for from DZ South, the Matador. Pick this one up right meow. The Virtuoso bag and the Heartbreaker chest piece are both very strong indeed. But you'd need a lot of DZ resources to pick up all of these items. But all right, that is DZ South. Before we go to DZ East, we're making a pit stop to the castle settlement. Now remember, for this one, we're going to the descent entrance. That way we can run up the stairs, pet the dog, and then go to the vendor. Oh, what up, Ransom? There we go. Whoa! Tried to high-five me. Oh, there you go. Now we can slow walk with the dog over here to the vendor. Let's go. Look at that. Oh, we about to walk on this? Yeah. Yeah. Not my bush, not my problem. That's what I say. All right, take care there, Ransom. Thanks for walking with me. All right, here we go. Castle settlement. Starting with the Forge. This is the named Richter and Kaiser holster with shield health, and this one with skill haste. Following that, we have a custom M44 with crit chance and lucky shot, a Negev with swap speed and thunderstrike, China Light mask with repair skills, explosive resistance, and finally Hanayu holster with crit hit damage and armor regeneration. Looking at the mods, we have skill haste 10.0, chem launcher +1 ammo, hive health 7.6, pulse skill haste 5.0, and trap duration 4.2. Must buys, things to look for from the castle. I mean, I wouldn't even go with the Forge, really. None of these are, no, I'm good. All right, moving on to DZ East. For DZ East, I go to the Alpha checkpoint because that's where the vendor is located. Don't go to the main entrance because then you'd have to run through the entire courtyard. Where right here, I just spawned right in, exit, here we go. Here's DZ East. Starting with the Good Times. This is another PvP exclusive item. This is the named M60 with perfect fast hands, and this one with swap speed. But you can easily just change swap speed to damage to armor, and you're good to go. Again, this one's located DZ East. It is a PvP exclusive item, so I will say it's a must-buy. Moving on, we have a Surplus SVD with magazine size Optimist, a classic RPK with magazine size and ignited. To the gear items, we have a Rigger mask with status effects, Aces and Eights holster with crit hit damage, Usina Gattaca mask with hazard and headshot, and finally Empress holster with skill damage and repair skills. Looking at the mods, we have skill duration 8.6, chem launcher heals 5.8, hive duration 4.2, pulse health 14.5, and finally trap duration of 6.0. Now, must buys from DZ East, I would say the good times would be the only one, and pick it up.
Location nearby.
And that will leave us with one more vendor to visit during our stay here in Washington, D.C., and that is the theater. The theater. We're going to the theater. All right, here we go. Theater settlement. Starting with the boomstick. This is the named shoddy with perfect pumped up, and this one with crit chance. Following that, we have the thorn with perfect brazen and headshot damage. A military MK-17 with max rifle damage, rifleman, and reload speed. For the gear items, we have Providence gloves. Ooh, perfect Providence gloves. Headshot and crit chance is perfect for Providence. Pick this one up. You could change the weapon damage to an armor core if you want, but just keep it. Or if you want to just go double crit, change the headshot to crit hit damage, and you're good to go. And then finally, we have Palisade knee pads with skill damage and health. Looking at the mods, we have Disorient Resistance 8.5, Seeker Mind Skill Haste 4.7, Shield Deflector Damage 4.1, Firefly Skill Haste 6.0, and Decoy Health of 6.0. Must buys, things to look for from the theater. The Providence gloves, though, for real. Pick them up. They're perfect the way they are. You can make them armor, but they're great the way they are. Or you can go double crit. Either way, great gloves. All right, now let's jump over to New York City, and I'll get you out of here. We have two more vendors. We have Marco at the top of the escalator, and then we have Roy Benitez just outside. If you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, what are you waiting on? Come on, hit the like, support the channel, and let me know what you think in the comments below. But here is Marco. Starting with the converted SMG-9, this with crit hit damage and sledgehammer. Following that, we have a Model 700 with crit hit damage and thunderstrike. A Resolute MK-47 with health damage and in sync. And finally, for the weapons, a custom PF-45 with damage targets at a cover and finisher. Looking at the gear items, we have Golden Gear backpack with crit chance, explosive resistance, and energize. Overlord knee pads with max weapon damage, crit chance, and weapon handling. And finally, Brazos de Arquebus mask with skill damage maxed out and hazard protection. Looking at the mods, we have skill duration 8.5, disorient resistance 8.3, turret +1 extra sniper, pulse radius 8.6, and finally trap duration 4.2. Must buys, things to look for from Marco. Not really. Nothing. And that will leave us with one more vendor, my dear agents, and that is Roy Benitez. Oh, but wait. Make sure you pet the dog. Interact twice. The first one is just normal. You're petting the dog. But that second interaction, is random. He could roll over. He could try to pet you. He could try to bark at you. Let's see what he does. All right. This week. Oh, he's rolling over. Let's go. Hey. All right. Dopamine spikes. And here we go. Roy Benitez. Ooh, get a little closer so I don't hit that stash.
How can I help you, Agent?
Starting with the AUG SMG. This one, reformation and accuracy. Following that, we have a M249 Para with max swap speed and strained, a double barrel shotgun with health damage and perpetuation, and finally a snub-nosed Diceros with crit chance and strained. Looking at the gear items, we have a Palisade chest piece with skill damage and headshot, Golden Gear knee pads with armor regeneration and repair skills, and finally Palisade mask with health and skill damage. Looking at the mods, we have Headshot 7.0, Pulse Resistance 8.6, Turret Duration 5.8, Firefly +1 max target, and Trap Shock Radius of 6.0. Now, must buys, things to look for from Roy Benitez. The Golden Gear knee pads are really not that bad. They come with armor regeneration, so you could easily just change the repair skills off for crit chance, crit damage, whatever it is you want. And remember that wearing 2 pieces of Golden Gear gives you that 1.5% armor regeneration, and that's really good for your survivability. So having that with the minor attributes of armor regen and then adding some sort of damage attribute like crit, crit chance, headshot, you're good to go. But that's it for Roy Benitez. All right, and that concludes our weekly vendor reset and must buys. So if you found this helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, please hit that thumbs up. But I am Kamikazevondoom. I hope you have a great day. Take care of yourself. We have a lot of content to go through. We had a lot of changes and things added today, so we'll talk about them in the next video. But this was your weekly vendor reset and must buys for February 4th. I hope you enjoyed. Hit the like, subscribe, you know the whole YouTube spiel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.